Lachlan. I am a senior in comparative literature with a minor in political science. I think the sort of preeminence of all of these LGBT-oriented groups, I mean, we have the Office for one, which really isn't a group, but we have all the groups run through the office, like Pride, Colors of Pride, Ladies Loving Ladies. We have a lot of different groups, and I think all of those show that there has been progress. There's a lot of LGBT people in the Champaign-Urbana community, but there's also a lot of ignorance, a lot of, like, the closest thing I've ever come to being sort of a victim of a hate crime or a bias-motivated incident, or whatever you want to call it, was on a bus coming back from the mall, where two guys who weren't students at the U of I were harassing us and followed us off the bus and stuff like that, and eventually left us alone. We'll always take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, because the more prominence that the gay rights movement has, the more, I guess, sort of more homophobia that has, I guess, sort of been flying under the radar until now, because it hasn't had sort of this opposition of a stronger gay community. That's going to come up. That's going to rise up to the forefront.
I hate it.
I can't know that.
Being LGBT, you're the invisible minority. Every other minority group, to a degree, it's something that people identify immediately. So I think that what I've noticed is that in order to be involved with other identities that I have, I need to hide my gay identity.
Miles? Hey, wait. Miles, I just got a text.
I think that you're forced to choose. Well, am I going to be an out gay individual, or am I going to be an out Christian individual? Am I going to be involved in the black community, or am I going to be involved in the gay community? It's hard to strike a balance.
Without the
If there's a kid who thinks he's gay, there's a book for how to come out, or like, how do you know if you're gay? But what else? And I feel like there's so many other issues that are so backwards. Like a while back, one of my friends was told that she might have an STD. And she came to me to figure out, well, what does she have to worry about in bed with her partner? And I was like, well, talk to your gynecologist. And she said, well, I did. They didn't know what to tell me. They told me it's probably better that I don't do anything. So people in medical professions that are supposed to understand, they need to understand more than just heterosexual sexual interactions. I think that it's a more powerful statement to be gay, but not make your life all about being gay. And being involved in the gay community, I think takes a lot, because it's at the point where it's really grassroots in terms of activism from a political sense, that it's very easy to get wrapped up in that, and everything else gets put on hold.
last year there was an incident where some people were walking down the street and were perceived to be gay, and were verbally harassed, and then one of them was pretty seriously injured and had to be taken to the hospital, and was unconscious for some time, like about an hour. We had the Green Street Hug-In last April, and one of the main goals of that was to educate people about the hate crime that had happened, and I was really kind of shocked that, I mean, nobody I talked to pretty much had any idea what we were talking about until we told them the story.
Dude, free hugs? I mean, seriously, what's wrong with you? Hugs? Yeah, why not? Let's work it out.
It's unfortunate that this happened, but fortunately it was something that got more attention than these kind of incidents normally would.
I got a free hug, son. George on the phone. So awesome.
All this information about how to be safe as a woman, you know, like be careful about, you know, guys putting things in your drink, always hold your drink, things like that. Very helpful information. Well, what about some type of education for people who are gay that are obviously, in my opinion, more of a target than a woman is? You know, last year there was a guy who was called a faggot and knocked out on Green Street. That's, like, what about addressing that? You know, that was just some random guy who honestly had an itch to scratch. Like, he said he was guilty, he said he was just having a bad day.
As far as the university's response, I know a lot of people, myself included, were really disappointed with that, because I mean, we get emails about women being attacked, or, you know, attempted rapes, or snow days, and not that attacks or crimes like those are any less important, but I feel like there should have been some kind of response from the university saying, you know, this is something that we don't accept.